Good morning, everybody. Happy finally Friday. Thanks so much for tuning into Morning Pulse on this November 21st. I'm Kelsey Marier. Hopefully you're having a good start to your day so far, and hopefully you are going to be informed after these top local headlines that I bring you for Northeast Iowa and Southeast Minnesota. Today I have three local headlines to cover for your Friday, and then I'll touch a little bit on the weather and then let you go about the rest of your day. So again, we have three headlines today. We're going to start with a story that's been a continuing coverage story for decades. We are talking about 30 some years in this continuing coverage type story. Definitely a cold case, but we are continuing to follow any updates. Obviously, we are talking about the search for Jody Huisentruit. Now, investigators have returned to the city of Winstead, Minnesota, that's west of the Twin Cities, to follow up on a lead. That is according to Mason City Police. So the new information that we have is that Chief Mike McElvey says a specially trained dog was being used by law enforcement to search a specific location, again in Winstead, where a house was recently demolished and then removed. Machinery was also used there to dig up around the site. Now, what we don't know is who that property necessarily belongs to. And also, unfortunately, in the update from Chief McElvey in Mason City, he says nothing new was found by following up on this lead. You may remember last fall, which we did report on, investigators had searched a property in rural Winstead that was near an apartment construction site. And according to the organization Find Jody, Winstead police ended up not finding any human remains during that search. Again, that was last fall. This update was they were following up on a new lead that they had back in the town of Winstead. Just some backstory on the story as a whole. Huisentruit went missing in the early hours of June 27th back in 1995 while she was on her way to her morning news anchor job in Mason City. Of course, this is a decades-long case that we have been following. If you or anyone you know has any information regarding her disappearance, please call the Mason City Police Department, or you can contact the Iowa Department of Criminal Investigation. Any information helps. No tip is too small, and obviously we are hoping to bring Jody home and get some justice for this case. Our next story is affecting some people in Iowa. We are learning about an Iowa food program that's helping food banks all around the state with high demand by partnering with hunters. Yeah, the Help Us Stop Hunger, or HUSH program, is allowing hunters to donate their harvested deer to a meat locker. They do have to have a special tag, those hunters, but the meat locker then grinds up the donated meat into packages of venison for food pantries to pick up. Obviously, to feed people in need. Leaders with this program say this is really a major help for food banks, especially as protein is kind of the most high demand product among people that may be food insecure. The Iowa DNR says that hunters have donated more than 2,000 deer. That was in the last hunting season. That was nearly 520,000 meals. That's what it kind of equated to. So super cool that the hunters in Iowa are helping to donate some of their harvested deer meat to, again, support people in need, people that are hungry and don't know where their next meal is coming from. Again, this is for food pantries in the state of Iowa. Last but not least, we have a story in Rochester, something happening this weekend that you might want to know about. There's another spot for you to pick out your perfect Christmas tree. To find that perfect Christmas tree this year, it's all thanks to the Rochester Morning Pride Lions Club annual tree sale. So that is starting tomorrow, and about 1,000 of those trees are actually currently being unloaded this morning. This is in the parking lot near Sam's Club in Northwest Rochester. Again, the sale itself officially begins tomorrow, but the unloading and kind of setting up of all those trees it's going on right now. The sale tomorrow runs every single day except for Thanksgiving until all the trees are gone. Again, there's at least 1,000 of them, maybe more. All types of trees and sizes will be available for you to choose from. And the good thing about this is when you get a tree, all of the proceeds are given back to nonprofits in Southeast Minnesota. So not only are you getting a Christmas tree for you and your family and getting to, celebrate that Christmas tradition, if that's something that you guys do, you're also helping others, which is really wonderful. And that's nonprofits all around the local area here, which is awesome. And on that note, last year, the Lions Club, with their annual tree sale, raised about $35,000. That is simply amazing, all just because people are looking for their perfect Christmas trees. So if you are in need of a real tree and want to get that whole experience with the family, why not head right over to the Sam's Club parking lot in Northwest Rochester and get a tree and kind of help support people who may need the help with those nonprofits that we have here in Southeast Minnesota. All right, those are our news headlines for our Finally Friday here. On a quick note, before I let you go, talking about the weather today, we're finally going to see the sunshine. It feels like it has been days since we have seen the sun, which I know is pretty typical for November up here in the upper Midwest, in the Minnesota-Iowa region. It's been gray and kind of gloomy and just not as pleasant as it could be outside, but the temperatures have been mild, which is good. But today and through the weekend, we're going to see sun. We're going to see upper 40s, low 50s for basically mid to end of November, which is amazing. And then it's going to get cold. We are definitely tracking a cold trend that is coming for next week, of course, just in time for Thanksgiving. So make sure to tune into our First Alert Weather team every day next week. Also, if you aren't tuning into our newscasts that air on your TV, on your streaming devices or anything, you can go right to our website, kettc.com, and get up-to-date weather right at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. We have a 24/7 weather live stream that actually airs right here where I'm doing Morning Pulse. When I'm not doing Morning Pulse, you can get all the weather information that you need to make your plans. Maybe you're thinking about traveling for Thanksgiving, at least maybe around this area. Yeah, we have you covered in the weather department. No need to worry. Just know that it is definitely going to be cold next week and next weekend. So enjoy the sun, enjoy the warmth while we have it today and into this weekend. And with that, I'm going to leave you on a high note with the warm temperatures. So I hope you have a good Friday, and I hope to see you right back here on Monday for that edition of Morning Pulse. All right.